All right, today I'm going to look at a few more news articles. In fact, there's three main articles right here I'm going to show you, and let's see if there's a connection between all three of them. So we got New Jersey schools can keep transgender kids secret from parents, state says. The state of New Jersey says that schools must allow kids to change genders, even if their parents don't know about it or don't want it to happen. LGBT advocates are celebrating the new state guidance, saying it puts New Jersey among the national leaders in protecting transgender students from unaccepting or abusive parents who won't let their children destroy their lives. So we can see the writing on the wall here. Now, this is, I believe, just a guidance. It's not officially law yet, but that's the next step, is to make this law. But this is official state guidance. And this word gender, the word gender is really a verb, right? To gender something, to create something, or something begins. So we basically have two sexes, right? Human beings have two sexes. They're trying to separate this. They have this idea of gender, which is different than your biological sex. And it's just, the whole thing is just a big hoax, really. But parents' right to have the final say over their child being recognized as transgender has remained uncharted waters legally. Though the new state guidance is not legally binding, it is likely to be followed. It is something you can point to as at least some source of authority. It provides guidance and cover for school districts who may have angry parents confronting them. And it's likely that some parents will be angry. The sad reality is that too many transgender and gender nonconforming youth may be placed in further danger by schools forcefully outing them to unsupportive family. Oh, so now the family is the enemy of the child, and the state must protect the child from the family. You see what's happened now? So the schools, right? The schools are going to raise your children, essentially, and turn them into trannies. National conversation is being gagged. We must all now bow to the transgender agenda. There has been an explosion in young girls identifying as boys, in some cases encouraged by their teachers. Children are being encouraged by their teachers to identify as the opposite sex, and they're going to keep this a secret from parents. And if parents don't like it, they're going to be called abusive, and the state will take away the children. Guilty. Doctor ran illegal transgender clinic. Treated children as young as 12. Okay, a doctor who gave hormones to children as young as 12 has been found guilty of running an unlicensed sex change service. Unlicensed. But as we know, the school will be the licensed transgender clinic. Boys encouraged to wear nail polish, massage each other at gender-neutral school. Whoa. Elite elementary schools in Iceland are teaching boys to put on nail polish and give each other full body massages, while girls are discouraged from crying to counter gendered behaviors. Founded by a radical feminist, nursery school, elementary school, they separate the girls and boys classes for the majority of the day so that they can be taught to practice behaviors of the opposite sex. And they're taught to play at looking after babies with gender-neutral rag dolls. This is one of the most disturbing pieces of news I've ever seen. And this is Iceland. See, they start these things out. They're like practicing, right? They're just practicing up in these Scandinavian countries with a low population. So they can practice and they can perfect the technique. They're experimenting. They're refining the indoctrination. And they're going to unleash this exact thing on the rest of the world. It's a secret from parents. They're encouraged by their teachers. And they will have legal transgender clinics. And the gender-neutral students can have a gender-neutral homecoming court. That's right. No more king, no more queen. And, of course, all these gender-neutral children will need a place to shop. Well, they can go to the first gender-neutral retail store. The Fluid Project has finally opened in New York City, just in time for the gender-neutral birth certificates. Amazing coincidence. The Fluid Project allows you to be whoever you truly are. All right. De Blasio signs bill allowing third non-binary gender on New York City birth certificate. So you can just see he's holding the Noahide flag, the 7 colors based on the 3 primary colors, like a triangle. The spectrum, the gender spectrum. He's got the tie on as well. So it's official. It's law. This is a city law, and it's becoming state law and federal law and universal Noahide law with the Noahide flag. Third non-binary gender has been created. It doesn't even exist, but it's now legal. And the 2 sexes that do exist will become illegal. New York City is the 5th place to do so after California, Oregon, Washington State, and New Jersey. And Washington, D.C. also allowed gender-neutral driver's license. Minnesota debuts non-binary option on driver's license. For the first time, Minnesotans have the option to choose a gender other than male or female on their driver's license. Be X for non-binary. All right, well, the Midwest has fallen. Now, this one's not X, it's ZZYYM. A 60-year-old has won a federal court victory over wanting a gender-neutral passport. You know, even if this guy has a real and rare condition, this just opens the doors for the entire Transpocalypse, Noahide, Kabbalah agenda. Law enforcement must undergo sexual orientation and gender identity training. Difference between sexual orientation and gender identity. Words used to identify and describe both. How to create an inclusive workplace. These are the new laws, all right? The people with the guns are creating these laws, and they're going to take away our guns because the all-seeing eye is watching you. The androgynous eye, the one eye. Pro-gender identity law, yes on 3. Campaign releases first video ad. A transgender teen. It's released its first video ad showing a father and an adolescent who was born a female but now identifies as a boy advocating for legal protection for transgender people. Possible $50,000 penalty for repeatedly violating Massachusetts gender identity law. No on question 3, advocate says. Police Commission requires San Francisco Police Department officers to respect gender identities. Oh, look at with the Noahide flag, full gender spectrum with the guns, enforcing gender fluidity. Just in case you thought this was only a North American phenomenon, no. Chile's Congress passes a historic gender identity law with the universal Noahide flag. So the next logical step would be all children, when they're born, there will be no M or F on the birth certificate. It will only be X, or nothing at all, really, at that point. They are removing male and female binary sex of humanity. They're removing the entire concept and the reality from us. They're removing the entire idea. So the next step, I believe within the next couple of years, there will be a law passed worldwide that you cannot put the child's sex on a birth certificate. And if you do so, that will be illegal. That's child abuse. Because the child will determine their gender later on under the supervision of their teachers and the state. And humanity will look something like this. This is the Noahide flag, the flag of the United Nations. Trans. It's the trans flag. All right, so in case you're wondering what's going to play out in the future, let's check Matthew 24. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. All right? The greatest tribulation in the history of the world. Are you ready? Except those days should be shortened. There should no flesh be saved. Unless those days, the tribulation days, were shortened, human beings would go extinct. No flesh would be saved. So Jesus is going to come back and cut short the tribulation. Otherwise, we would go extinct, which means they're going to try to wipe us out, either exterminate us completely or alter us to the point where we're not even human anymore, but they can utilize our raw materials. Basically, they're farmers. We are the farm animals. They're neutering us. They're castrating us. They are changing us so that they can set up a breeding program and harvest us as they wish. Their strategy to destroy men and destroy women is their plan to destroy humanity. It would work if it weren't for Jesus coming back to cut it short. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Exodus 1, verse 16. And he said, this is Pharaoh, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, see them upon the stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. So at least here we have Pharaoh killing all the boys. Because, why? Because there were too many Hebrews being born in Egypt. They're talking about infanticide, killing babies as a way of population control, right? Right here in Exodus, Hosea. Samaria shall become desolate, for she hath rebelled against her God. They shall fall by the sword. Their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with child shall be ripped up. Matthew 2:16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children in Bethlehem and in all the coasts thereof from 2 years old and under. 2 years old and under. So again, killing young children. And these kind of things happened a lot, right? And think about the Passover, right? God did that to the Egyptians. And he did it to the Canaanites and all those guys as well, right? So I think they want a little bit of revenge, right? It's revenge time for Satan. And here we can see they're targeting children, right? They're destroying men and women by eliminating their sex. If we prevent human beings from reproducing, we will die off. Now, the adults, they can just kill us off, or, we will die off eventually, right? If they have patience for that. So if the adults don't go along with this transsexual world order, they could kill us off. They will be creating humanoids through IVF and all kinds of stuff. There'll be humanoids around, I think, but not human beings. This is all part of the kind of an infanticide type of thing. We have to be prepared to see some really messed up, violent, horrible things. We have to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepared to handle these things so we don't freak out. All right. So anyway, talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.